Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you one of the top gear hacks that I have, and that is post-season boot care and maintenance. Now these boots aren't that terribly dirty, but every season, regardless of what kind of condition they're in, I always clean my boots, re-waterproof them, and it just makes it so much nicer. The next season you're not putting on a crusty, muddy old pair of boots. Also, it makes them last much longer. This pair of boots specifically is about 15 years old and has done close to 20 mountain hunts, and the leather is still in excellent condition and they will last for a long time yet. So anyways, let's get into it, and we'll start by cleaning them, and I'll show you what I do for that. Okay, first I'm just going to show you my setup. I just got a bucket that's big enough to put the boots in, and then I'm going to be using this brush. It's just a stiffer bristle brush. This is extra stiff. You can get these at Walmart or any place like that. And let's go ahead and scrub these boots down. Okay, so I just like to do one at a time. If you put them both in, you know, depending on how deep your water is, you could end up getting the leather soaked on the other pair. But basically what I'm trying to do is just get any of that dirt. These, like I said, these boots aren't that terribly dirty, so they are not as bad as some of the other times that I've brought them home. But I'll go ahead and get these scrubbed down, and then we'll get on to the next step. Okay, so I brought the boots in. You can see they're pretty dark. That's because I've actually put quite a bit of this rain guard on in the previous years, and they're just that dark, but they do need to be treated. One little tip, in these corner pockets and here on these hiking boots, like in these crevices here, you'll get a lot of dirt and little things that get caught in there. One tip to clean that out is to use some Q-tips with some rubbing alcohol. Basically, the rubbing alcohol moistens the Q-tip and lets it pick up all the dust and debris and dirt and stuff, and then it evaporates away pretty quickly. It's just a really good way to clean those out before you put on the snow seal. The shoelaces, so I run these through the washing machine just with the regular laundry just to clean them up. If you're worried about them getting tangled up in the washing machine, or if they're super dirty, you can just put them in a pail of soapy water and hand wash them. And this is what I use to seal my boots, snow guard. And this is actually a beeswax. There is no animal oils, it says in here. And not sure if you can read that on camera or not, but it says it won't break down the leather, decay the stitching or seams, and does not contain any animal fats, greases, or oils. It's basically all made from beeswax, and this works really good. Someone got me switched on to this, and I absolutely love it for leather boots. Now the next thing, we need the heat gun, and what we're going to do is warm up the leather first, and then apply the snow guard. We'll rub it in, and then we'll take the heat gun again and melt all the wax into the leather, and that leather will suck up the wax. And if you do it right, basically the leather will suck it up and be dry. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, this is just a cheap one I got from Canadian Tire. I can't remember what I paid for it. It was the cheapest heat gun you can buy. But if you don't have a heat gun, you can actually use a like a lady's hair dryer. It just takes a lot longer to heat up the leather and to melt the beeswax or the snow guard after you've applied it. Whatever you do, do not put your boots in the oven. I know some people do that to warm them up, but I have known people that have forgotten the boots in the oven and melted the soles and whatnot. So I don't recommend putting your boots in the oven by any means. Just use a hair dryer or a heat gun if you have it. And yeah, so I'll just show you guys too what the inside of this looks like. So it's just, it almost looks like petroleum jelly, but it is a beeswax. So all right, let's go ahead now and start warming the boots up. Okay, so I'm wearing gloves because I just put this on with my hand. It's just easier to do it this way. Now, you don't want to cook your leather to the point where it's going to start drying out and stuff. You just need it to be nice and warm. And it doesn't need to be hot, just nice and warm so that when you put this coating on, the paste kind of wants to melt a bit. Now, when we wash the boots, these shoelace deals here with ball bearings, most people would be thinking, oh, that just wash all the grease out of them. Well, what this wax actually does is it actually kind of lubricates these little ball bearings. So I always put just a generous amount on there. Try to get it all worked in. And then, now these boots have been treated basically every season since I've got them, so they do have a lot of this water sealant in them, which in my opinion is good, because I've never once had wet feet with these boots. Alright, so we've got this fully coated. So you can see it's pretty greasy looking. There's lots of wax on the surface, but we'll deal with that in a minute. And this is just the rubber, I can't remember what they call this piece now, but basically you don't need to coat that. If you get a little over on it, it doesn't matter. It's not going to soak in by any means, so you'll just end up wiping off any of this coating on there. But so you can see this thing's slick as a seal right now, so we'll just set this aside. I'll do the other boot and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now we've warmed up the boots. We've completely coated them with this sealant, and now I'm going to show you what we do. We basically reheat the boots up again. And this coating, especially if your boots are dry and haven't been treated before, will suck right into that leather and really help waterproof them. So we'll just go ahead doing that, and we'll wipe off any excess with a rag here. So we'll get that ready, but I just wanted to go and heat this up and just show you guys how this is going to suck in. So as you can see, it's pretty greasy, so let's go ahead and just work on this side here. So you can see initially this wax melts. We'll go get that all warmed up. And if you put this on when the boot was a bit drier, or sorry, when the boot was not quite as warm as maybe it could be, this will really help melt it. Okay, that's what I'm just going to continue to heat this a bit, and then I'll just show you guys kind of what this looks like. Alright, I'll just give this a little pause. Okay, now not sure if you can tell where it looks all wet there. That's where the sealant hasn't sucked in, but you can see it looks like it's dry here. Now that leather has sucked all of that beeswax right into it. We do have some excess here, but I'm just going to continue to heat this up If you see this side nice and dry, this side nice and greasy. But I'll just continue to heat this up and I'll show you what the boot looks like after. Alright, so I just finished the heat treatment. Now I didn't wipe any excess off. The leather sucked all of that in. And of course on the rubber part I just, some of it ran down, so I just wiped it off. But these boots look great. And it's amazing how much leather will soak in. So, you know, the more this kind of sealant that sucks into your leather, the less opportunity there is for water. Now, I just wanted to show this side by side with the boot that I haven't heat treated yet. So, as you can see, this is one greasy looking boot. And that's this is kind of the before and the after. But basically, once I heat that up, that leather will warm up and suck any of the rest of that in as well. Like I said, I didn't wipe any excess off of this. This is just 100% me heating the boot and the boot sucking all that in. So even if your boots look like they might be still good with lots of water repellent on them, because the leather is dark or whatnot, I can almost guarantee that if you treat them once a year, those boots will suck up more of the treatment. So anyways, I'll go ahead and finish heat sealing this one, or heating up this boot so that the waterproofing sucks into the leather, and then we'll go on to the relacing step. Alright, so I got the heat treatment all done. The boots look great. No matter what you think your boots are in terms of if they're sealed good enough, I guarantee you if you treat your boots once a year, they will always take more waterproofing. And the more waterproofing that's in the leather is just less moisture that can be absorbed in the leather. So anyways, next step now, put the laces back in. Alright, there we go. So the laces are super loose, but we're all set. We're ready to go for next season, and I think the boots look pretty good. Nice and sealed, ready to go. Okay, so that's it for cleaning and waterproofing your boots. If you guys have any other suggestions that you think I could have maybe done something better or different, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve my process and to do things better. That sealer that I used was a beeswax sealer. It's not supposed to harm the leather or the stitching on the boots. And as you saw in the video, that heat really allowed the leather to suck that beeswax snow sealer into the leather. And I've been using that for several years now, and I've found it to be excellent waterproofing for the boots. I've never had wet feet. I've walked through a lot of water over the years hunting, and it seems to work really well for me. So anyways, if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.